Hello everybody, this is George Lopez here in Alzaled Tech, and in this screencast I'm going to show you how you can use Google Slides to create your classroom yearbook or even site yearbook in a collaborative manner. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so as you can see here, here's the template to our yearbook on here that I've created. And I did this by working a lot with the Slide Master. So this tutorial will also include, just the basics on using Slide Masters on the master slide on here to go ahead and make these changes. So one thing I want you to notice first of all is up here on the right hand side where it says the plus. If you click on the right on the drop down arrow here, you can change the layout, and these are the layouts that I have created for a possible yearbook. So here they are. As you can see here, this is what students or teachers would be able to add on here. So I want to go ahead and show you how I did that. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and click where it says slide, and then you want to go down to to edit the master. So here's the masters. As you can see here, these are all the masters that I've created that can be edited. So the first thing you may want to do is you may want to take this template and go ahead and change it for your school or your classroom. So very easy to do. So one of the first things you may want to do is you may want to change the logo in the background on here. So what you can do is you can go ahead and click on that, and then you can insert. If you right click, you can go ahead and replace the image. You have a choice of uploading an image from your computer, getting an image from the web, or of course getting it from your Google Drive. So I'm going to go to my Google Drive on here. I have the logos of all of our schools here in the district on here in a folder. So let's see if I can find that folder here. Let's see here, school logos. All right, so here we go. Here's my folder with all of the logos on here, already transparent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started with, why don't we go here, Chavez Elementary School. So it says our Chavez Elementary School. So there we go. I just go ahead and click that, and now it has been replaced. So the other thing you may want to do is you may want to change the color or maybe move some of this text around, and you can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this maybe up to the top some. I'm going to go ahead and also drag this down to the bottom for now, and I'm going to go ahead and center this a little bit here and make sure that I have the whole Cesar Chavez mascot there for the site on. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that it is centered. All right, so there it's centered on the page. But like I said, you may want to change some of these things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and actually change the background first to match the yellow here that is included in the mascot or in their logo. So I'm going to go ahead and click where it says background up here, and I'm going to change that to a yellowish color. I don't see one that I like on here, so I'm going to go to custom here, and I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find something a little bit closer to what I want. So I want something maybe a little bit more yellow like that. Let's see here. So let's go ahead and click OK and see what we get on here. So there we go. So we have a little bit of a different color on here. I also can change this. This is Wordart, so I'm going to go ahead and double click on it, and I'm going to change I'm going to put Cesar E. Chavez, and I'm going to go ahead and go down to the next line, Cesar E. Chavez. I'm going to put elementary school. Well, I just can't seem to spell elementary here. Let's right click it here and fix that. I don't know why it's not working here. Let's try one more time. There we go. And then click enter. And now we have changed that. So one thing that I'm going to do too is I'm also going to go ahead and change the color of this. And I'm going to change it to maybe the green to match this green here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, up here at the top, I'm going to fill it with maybe a little bit of green, something like that. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe change the outline. I could change the outline instead of to white. I can change it to black, just like you see it here. There we go. And now there it is. All right. So then the other thing that I can do is I can also go ahead and I'm going to delete this, and I'm actually going to go ahead and click insert Wordart, and I'm going to go ahead and insert yearbook. Okay. And then I'm going to press, by the way, to go to the next line in when you're working with Wordart, you hold shift and then you press enter, and it goes to the next line. Yearbook, and this will be 2018, 2019. All right. So there we go. So here it is. I do not like this font, so I want to use the same font as up here. So it's selected. I'm going to go ahead and click the font there, and I'm also going to go ahead and center it here. Again, these are all things that you can go ahead and do yourself. And finally, I'm going to go ahead and change the color on here. I like this gradients one. I'm going to go ahead and pick the same colors as up here. So there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and add a black outline here. And I always like using 2 pixels there. There we go. That looks pretty good. And again, I can go ahead and change all of these. So notice how these says Alice How Strong. I could go ahead and change that to whatever. Again, I can change the color of that. I can go ahead and move it around and change it to whatever I choose. So there we go. So there's how you create one on here. So and again, you can do this with all these on here. You can go ahead and change all these. So for example, if you're a teacher and you want to change on here, you can go ahead and change this to put your name on there, right? So in this case, I can go ahead and put Mr. Lopez. There we go. And then notice how it's not centered. So I want to go ahead and center it here. So again, you want to make sure you put it, that you go ahead and change it however you want. So notice that I'm working within the master. So these are all the masters on here that I've already created on here. You can go ahead and change any of those. Now, when you are done editing your master and you're ready to use it, you can go ahead and click outside. No, see, so master, click outside back to your slide deck, and now we're back in our slide deck. And I want you to let you know, there we go. Notice that nobody can change this. So there's the cover. That would be the cover of my yearbook. Now, for a student, I also, in this, you'll have access to all these resources. And what I've done here is I've tried to make this as easy as possible for teachers and students. So what I've done is I've created a picture here that is just a picture of a gray box on here. And what I would want to do here is, if I want to go ahead, a student can do this with their Chromebooks or their device. They want to go ahead and replace this image. So you want to find a way to get these to students. And I do have a way to do that. Let me show you where it's at. Actually, see where it says student pages, and you'll get access to this whole folder. If you click here, this is the template for students. So this is what I would probably send out through Google Classroom or through some other way, so that students can go ahead and be able to edit their own page about themselves. So this is all about themselves. So each student would get one of these, make a copy for each of them, and then you want to guide them up here to. There's no slides on. You want to guide them to where it says the plus on here, so that they can select something that reflects them. So when they click down on this arrow beside the plus sign, they would be able to pick. You know, if my favorite color is blue, I can go ahead and pick blue, and I can go ahead and edit that. If my favorite color, maybe I don't like that, I changed my mind, my favorite color is gold, I can go ahead and do that, and I would go ahead and be able to edit this. So again, students do need to have some basic understanding of Google Slides. All right, so that is how that would work. You'll have access to that. The last piece that I want to show you, so once you get this to students, like I said, I've tried to make it very easy so that you can go ahead and insert a picture in there. So once a student takes a picture of it, they can go ahead and right click here, and then when they right click, they can go ahead and click replace image. Notice they can take a picture from their camera right away, or if they already have a picture they're going to use, they can go ahead and upload it from their drive, from their computer. So I'm just going to show you live. Let's see here how this will work. To take a picture and insert it in there. So here we go. Let's see what this looks like here. All right, so there I am. I'm going to go ahead and click picture, and I'm going to go ahead and replace that. And what this will do is, notice it replaced my little box there with my picture. So there we go. That is how students could do that. Now, as a teacher, you're able. I added boxes here to all these also. So take a look on here. So as a teacher, I could also, or as a, I could have the students come to my computer. And take a picture on here. So here's so if I'm a student on here, once again, I click on it, I right click, I go ahead and replace the image from, I'm gonna go ahead and take from my camera here, because all the students will be taking this in on my computer. Click, take a picture, there we go, we're happy there. And now notice that there would be my picture. Now the other thing that I can do here is I can go ahead and change the name on here. So in this case, I could put on here George Lopez, and update the names on there. So again, these are just some tips on being able to use these resources to create a yearbook, either for your class or perhaps for your whole school. So I hope that this was helpful. The final piece from today is, like I said, is that you have this folder here that you'll have access to Yearbook and Google Slides, and you'll have to make copies for yourself of all of these, of all these documents once you have access to them. So to get them, you can get them from this bit.ly here, bit.ly/AUSD yearbook. All right. I hope that this screencast has been helpful and that you and your students will find some use for it. If you have any additional questions, you know where to find me. Have a great day.